Hello, it's Randy Duck and welcome back for another video. This time we're starting our grind on the new Czech line, the new Czech heavy tanks. And we're starting off here with the tier 7, which is the VZ44-1. We have two replays in it today, all fully kitted out, and yeah, I actually really enjoy this tank. I found it very good. I haven't played it like on the grind. I 3XP'd all the top packages, but from my experience playing top packages, it's very good tier 7, very capable. It has 320 alpha, and that's the big thing about this tank. That's what makes it so good, and that's that really big gun and pretty decent DPM for tier 7 as well. It has okay armour. Against tier 7s, you can bounce quite a lot off of the turret, off of the hull. Or naturally, if you come across those tier 8s or the high penetration, sort of obviously the tier 9s and the high penetration tier 8s, you are going to struggle a little bit. You know, it won't bounce off any shots. But overall, it's very reasonable armour. It's not great mobility. It's not ridiculously slow, but it's not quick either by any means. It's only got a max speed of 30 kilometers. But like I say, the gun is what makes this tank having that 320 alpha. It is a little bit derpy, which you will see across the two videos. But yeah, you know, even with the 6.0 accuracy and stuff, it does derp a little bit. But what I say, I've enjoyed this tank so much. But as you say, we're on Sunset Coast. We do go on to have quite a nice game here. Unfortunately, by the spawns on these team destructions, a lot of our teams sort of gone to the left hand side of the map, which doesn't happen, and it's kind of a problem because I know there is going to be stuff. I know there's two tier 8 platoons of the tier 8 version of this tank, Thankyou tank, coming around this side, so I don't want to completely leave this side undefended, but I can't push down there by myself because it's just not going to end well. So I'm going to have to be patient, knowing that I have got some guns which could potentially back me up if I get rushed here, and I'm just going to be a little bit careful, wait for my heavy tanks on the right hand side to engage. It does have, another thing I should say, very decent penetration. I am using the full swindle rounds, unfortunately, but yeah, that's what I do. So I'm not going to make any sort of what should I say? I'm not going to say anything about that. That's just how it is. But yeah, so we are in a bit of a predicament here where we've got these tier 8 tanks, and I've got to push right round because I don't want to get full send. They do have two tanks behind them, so I kind of need to maximise the damage when they get engaged in them. I'm just waiting for them to turn around and have to fight them tanks on my right. You see, I've put in my small mini maps. I need to know exactly what's going on. We get two nice shots for this T10. I think he might have to stop turret, but we penned him twice and put him on a one shot, which is really good. And now this is a crucial element where I need to get shots in while these stuff are engaged, because I need to put the hurt in these guys, because otherwise they're coming for me next. So I need to get as many shots in as I can while they're pre-optimised with my other friendly tanks. They have shut one down. We did manage to get two shots into them, putting us up to sort of 700 damage, but it's not an ideal situation. We see this light tank we've got a lovely shot on earlier. He's come round, we sort of preempt that, we wait in and boom, slap him, shut him down, put herself onto 2k. But this is where things get tricky, things get interesting. We've got two heavy tanks behind us and that one shot T10. If I can, I want to take out the one shot T10 so I can deal with the stuff behind me. You see me looking for a shot, but it isn't possible, and I've now got these guys putting shots in from behind, and this is causing me all sorts of drama. So I'm not thinking at this point, I'm not thinking I'm going to survive here, if I'm honest. I'm just trying to do my best to stay alive, stay in the game, do all I can to survive, make it as difficult as possible for the enemy to get shots, and that's what I'm doing, getting close to this ridge so the other guy can't get shots on me, so I can just focus on this potential two shot for me. I get one shot into him. He's on the reload because he's obviously got double shot, and they're using double shot gun. We finish this guy off. I'm still thinking he'll be over, but fortunately this T50 gets a lovely fire shot in, and I survived by this. Yo, Christ, how do I survive that? But I did. I did all I could to make it as difficult as possible, and we've just, between us, taken out two tier 8 heavy tanks, which is brilliant. Now I'm on the slithering of health, but you know, I'm still in the game. I've still got a dream. We can get more out of this. we just got to be careful. The rest of my team is on the other side of the map, and I'm kind of thinking, look, I'm a one-shot. I need to go and join them over there. I need to try and help them out of there if I can, because yeah, I'm not in a good way. But I was looking for this T10 because I knew he was a one-shot. I was trying to find him, and we just get him. That's a big kill there, taking out that T10, because that was the rest of the stuff which I knew about in this zone. So now I've cleared that out. Now I know I'm not going to get shot in the back by that T10. Now I'm going to push over to try and help engage with my friendlies and just try and, you know, get with the numbers. It's a 5 versus 5. You know, it's still very winnable, where it's completely in the balance, which is what I like. I love these games where you got to really sweat it to try and get something out. I've seen the damage. I've seen our guys over there, and they're kind of not really. They kind of got stuck. You see this sort of Dragon and this other heavy. They're stuck in there, and they've got no angle. So I need to come in and create this secondary angle to try and help out my team. We get one nice shot in this Pantera. He gets ammo racked. He just repairs his ammo rack, so we know he's got no repair kit for at least a minute. We're going to try and get a double punishing. Obviously, I do have to be careful, but also I have to get the shots in. It's right in the balance there that I need to keep getting my gun shots in, and also trying to not, you know, I know I'm on a one shot, but if I don't get damage in, we're probably going to lose this game. So that's what I've got to do. We're just trying to wait now, though. We don't want to expose ourselves and get one shot. These guys at this AT-18, you see there, I do get shot. I think I actually hit, I don't know what happens when I hit the cupola. I don't know how I don't bounce. I must have hit something else. It is, like I say, it's a little bit derpy. But I think this guy's a one shot to, oh no, he's not two shot to me. We get one in through the cupola there. Now he's a one shot. Now we're going to try and focus this out. At this sort of stage of the game, it's about taking out the guns. Take out the guns. Well, you can. So we go for a shot in the cupola, and this is what I'm talking about. This is where the gun is a little bit derpy. You see, I'm pretty close to that guy, full aimed in, full zoomed in on the cupola, and it misses. And the best thing is not to get frustrated when that happens, just because it's the nature of this gun. You see, again, it derps, wasn't quite fully aimed because I didn't have a choice, but it does miss it. But now I do manage to, well, I was going to get one in there, but wasn't quite reloaded. But we do finish off our target in the end. Now putting this onto a 4 versus 3. This guy's not paying attention to us, so we're going to go for the trap wheel, and now we've got him stuck here, and I'm going to push in because I was just a bit nervous something could potentially come from behind, so I want to try and take this guy out while putting myself in as much cover as possible. You see now I'm sort of turning my armour just in case something was sneaking around undetected, but that's put us on a, you know, that's a good start. We're having a good game now, haven't we? We've come back from the dorms of being completely destroyed. Now we've got 4k damage. And we did a lot of that damage on 55 hit points. That's why I say, no matter what happens, keep your tank in the game for as long as possible, and you never know. You just never know. We're going to push in. I think we've got full health Dragon with us, or at least he was full health. But we're going to try and pinch these kills to see if we can get ourselves a medal. I think we deserve the kills for the effort we put in. We do get one. There's this one shot, which would be a devastator. So I'm going to try and push around and see if I can get there before the Dragon. Like I said, I think I've earned this devastator. And we do finish that off. And yeah, we go on to have a nice game, considering. So yeah, what's left to get to the result screen, and then we can see how we got on. So we picked up 7 kills, 4,000 damage, 1,000 assistance. And let's say we did all that with a 55 hit points. We get the ace tanker. Yeah, so really nice game there. But that's it for this one. We've got one more replay to come, so stay with us, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, thanks for staying with us. Here we are for the second replay of the video, and we do go on to have a big one here on Ellenberg. There is, I think this is a tier 8 game, but there is no fun police in this one, so that is very good for us because it opens up a lot more possibilities. First things first, I'm going to push to the opposite side of this ridge, what I tend to always do in Ellenberg, well, a lot of the times anyway, because you can always come back to defend the base. As long as you get it at the right time, you can always defend the base. It's quite, especially when there's no fun police in the game, you've got a good opportunity to get resets, which, spoiler alert, we may see later. But yeah, so we're going to push over. This is where you're a little bit slow at the start. You know, that is the one thing I've noticed with this tank so far. It is a little bit slow, but like I say, I've really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to going to this line. But what I've heard, the whole line is great. I'm a little bit slow off the mark. I haven't had a lot of time to play recently, but I will be getting a replay in every single tier. That's my main focus at the moment. But yeah, I'm looking forward to continue on. I'll be on the 8 shortly because what I've heard is really, really good line to go up, which is really refreshing. So we're going to push over. I'm looking just in case that light tank pokes over the top of the ridge to get a shot. But I'm going to go over here, and the plan is to try and use my gun depression, which I've 8 of, and just try and get some shots. And because you have reasonable turret armour, you can bounce shots. Like I say, don't rely on it, but just know it's a possibility, which is good. So we caught this Tiger 2 out in the open here. We're going to try and get a shot in if we can while he's reversing back. We just managed to slap that one in. And you really feel it when you hit these tanks, you know, and you're not really on reload that long. You know, for a tier 7 for 320 alpha, it's decent, you know, you're kind of in the game a lot. And that's why I've really enjoyed it. So we're going to go for another shot there. Unfortunately we don't pen that, but we do damage his tracks. And we're just trying to get these shots up, and we're not always fully aiming it all the time because we don't want to expose ourselves. But at the moment there's not a lot which has got shots onto me, well, not big shots, you know, they're only going to see the top of my turret, so I've got that little bit extra time to make sure I hit my shots, which we do on this Tiger 2, putting them on a 1 shot. And as you notice, if you're looking on the map now, there's a lot of tanks on the other side, so they're either going to camp or they're going to come back to our base. So at some point I'm probably going to have to turn around, but at this point I want to make sure we win this side before I do that. I get a bit unlucky well, I don't get unlucky, but I don't manage to kill the Tiger 2. I don't fully aim the shot, and like I say, this is derpy. But yeah, it's just managing to hide this lower plate, just making it a little bit awkward. I'm not fully aiming shots because I don't want to expose myself for too long. This light tank's a problem. I don't want him to get an angle on the right because then it's going to make it harder for me to poke. So I am focusing him to see if I can get a shot into him, but he's not exposing himself at the moment. So I'm going to quickly see if I can finish off this Tiger again. But then we do get shot by this light, and that's my concern because he's put us in an awkward angle now, and I need to hurry up about this because the enemy team are going to be pushing our base soon. But there we go, we get fortune, we get a nice shot on that light, now putting them on a 1 shot to essentially everything. And he is running, and this is where we're going to try and finish him off, see if we can. We don't manage to finish it off, but at this sort of point I'm kind of thinking I need to start turning around because it's clear the enemy are coming from the other way. I'm just trying to get a little cheeky kill before I do that, but it's not happening, it's not working, and we're going to push back. So we had an okay amount of damage there. We've got sort of 1500 damage. It could have been more, but this is where we need to get shots in. While our light tank is lighting this up at the moment, I'm just sort of getting the shots in where I can, hoping I can just sort of, you know, finish something off. Because I'm not getting lit up at the moment, and I'm hoping I just want to punish them on the cross before they get there. But they are getting a little bit close, and it's getting a bit interesting at the moment because they're in the cap. But at the moment I kind of thought they only had sort of 1 in the cap. I didn't think the whole team had made it over the cross yet, because sometimes you do get the enemy team just stay at their base on this map, but that doesn't seem to, well, at the moment there's only 1 in there, so we're just hoping that something's going to get lit up at the moment because our light tank's going forward. So I stayed put just while our light tank was moving in. Unfortunately they have now got in the cap, there's 2 in the cap, and we've got to move through to try and get these resets in to avoid getting capped out. We're going to try and get a shot into this Tiger 2, I think Tiger 1, sorry. I think at this moment I'm thinking we might actually just, it's looking like we're just going to get capped out, and I was probably just going for as much damage as I could. But they're all lit up in the cap now, so I'm going to go for the reset. I'm going to try and remember who I reset. So I've reset that type now, so I know I don't necessarily need the reset on him unless he's the only thing I can shoot at. I haven't shot this wizard yet, so we get the reset on him. That's 2 tanks, but I think the crucial tanks at the moment I want to get the main resets on might be behind this building, and we don't have a lot of time, so I'm just trying to get any sort of resets we can, just pray that someone's going to expose herself so we can get a shot. But it's not looking like it's going to happen, so I'm going to have to just take the risk and move forward to get ourselves a better shot. But there we go, getting the port and reset there, gives us another 10 seconds, it buys us the time to get a second angle. someone gets shut down and gives us 40 seconds, and that is that was key there. It's looking like we're potentially going to lose that, and now we've got a minute in the clock, and we don't need to worry. We can just try and farm this hammer there. We go toe to toe. We trade that shot out because I wanted the extra damage, but now I'm going to try an angle to make it a little bit harder for him to actually pen me, so he's not going to guarantee pen. And that's put us up to above 4,000 damage, and we sort of turned this around. It's looking like a potential loss, and now it's looking pretty good. We got someone in there, Cap, putting on the pressure on the enemy team. So I'm now just going to full send, because I know the rest of the team is likely to be going back to defend the base, you would like to think. And that's probably where the remaining damage is of the game. That TD in front gets taken down, which is nice because he's got a very decent gun. I think that's the unskinned bone breaker. And he can put in a lot of pain to us in a very short space of time. But you can see the light tank is going for the resets. He's got the reset on our friendly tank. Selfishly, I'm kind of glad for, because I'm having a good game. I want to get the rest of the damage. At this point, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I'm probably thinking I'm probably not. But, you know, I'm the furthest heavy forward, so, you know, I've got a chance. We get a nice shot into Stern Tiger. I try and get in cover, because that guy can absolutely wreck my day if he gets a shot into me. But I want to see if I can get a shot before he turns around, and we do. We finish him off, putting us up to sort of 4,800 damage. So it's a really decent game for a tier 7 heavy tank. And there's only one tank left now. We're all just, you know, we're going to win this game. It's just about who gets the last kill on that Super Chaffee. So I'm just looking and hoping that he's going to expose himself, and I might have one opportunity to get a shot in, but it's not to be. But we do go on, and like I say, have a really good game. So all that's left is to get to that scoreboard, and we can see how we did. We picked up 2 kills, just shy of 5,000 damage, 1,062 assisted, like 2,020 or 200 base XP. So really nice game. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. As I say, I'll be getting replays up in all of them in due time, and I'm looking forward to continuing my grind. So as always, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight! Hadouken!